Right, so I'm gonna do another video. Bit of a personal video, to be honest. I was debating whether to put this up or not, but if I don't, I'm kind of going against everything that I kind of push and support and talk about. Yeah, it kind of relates to being on cycle, but don't. It's more mental health. But the fact that gear will heighten what's going on. Obviously, I spoke about it last time, saying that being on cycle and the not so glamorous side of it will heighten stuff. I've found myself the last couple of days in an absolute cesspit in my own head, to the point where I didn't want to get out of bed. Silly things like I had no taste, I couldn't taste food, and I just could not get myself out of it. And I think the gear massively accelerated it. Because most people who know me know that I'm a pretty happy person, pretty positive person. But last couple of days, it's been the absolute polar opposite. Normally, I'm quite positive and think about the positive side of stuff, but literally, I've just it's been a multitude of things, just small things, but they built up. I'm not going to say what they are, but it's just a multitude of things that have built up over the last couple of days. Probably the week. I think Monday it started setting in. I could feel something weren't right. Come in Tuesday. Well, tried to train Monday, it wasn't there. Tried to train Tuesday, wasn't there. So I contacted my coach and said to him, look, it's shit and it's not going well. So he advised me to take a week off. And then Wednesday, it was just, I woke up in the morning and I just didn't want to move, did not want to do nothing. I went to work, but just something wasn't right. I don't know what it was. Well, I do know what it was. I was in a bit of a rut, to the point I got home Wednesday and I got into bed after I finished work and just slept. I don't do that. I'm a really active person. I like to be up in the gym and that, but I just didn't want to move. I just felt like absolute fucking shit. And then Thursday, I didn't come down the gym. Friday, so yesterday, because it's Saturday I'm filming this. Friday, I was all right. Started to pull myself out of a little bit. I think it's a multitude of a couple of things. Gear, like I say, the gear is definitely touching on it and accelerating it. And this is something that I need to point out to the younger lads, that this is going to happen. You can be the most positive person in the world, like myself normally. You start falling into a rut and it will hyperdrive it and it will slam you into the ground. And it's horrible. It really is. I've suffered with like little breakdowns here and there. I had a breakdown last November. Nothing as severe as this, but this is phenomenal. Was lucky enough I'm on the back end of it. But the reason I keep mentioning gear is because the gear will do it, and the problem is you can't stop taking the gear. You're committed, because what will happen is you will. So at the minute, I'll be completely open. I'll be completely transparent. I'm running Miller test in the middle of tren a week. 2 Miller test, 2 Miller tren a week, for my big deadlift at the end of the month, end of the year. So end of the month, 23rd. So I'm quite balls deep in the cycle. Normally, I've done this before, been fine. I've been really happy, really perky. And I think it's a multitude of things. It's the stress of the gym, definitely, and just some things that have happened in the gym and with members just disappearing and stuff like this. It's all kind of built up, but it's become something I should point out to people that I've only really made aware of is seasonal depression. Because I started adding it up, and I had it last year when it started getting dark, and it's doing the same this time. I went for a sunbed, and I shit you not, I've not had a sunbed about 10 years. I jumped on the sunbed, had 4 minutes, and within a minute I could feel myself feeling better. So that might be worth to some people, if you're feeling down in the winter time and you're not aware of it, like me. I'm 33 years old and I've never even thought about it, so that's new to me. to the point that I'm actually going for a sunbed after here because I want to feel like I did earlier yesterday. But these are the things that if you're going to jump on cycle, you need to be aware of. You can't just stop, because if you stop taking steroids, your body will crash. You're already feeling bad. You pull all the testosterone out of your body from what you're injecting, your estrogen will shoot through the roof and you will become an emotional wreck. Because there's a couple of things I didn't touch on last time when I was talking about the gear. Things like you need to take into consideration the side effects of steroids. I'll briefly mention it in the description, but I'll quickly go over it. So when you take testosterone, what will happen is your body will have a massive surge of testosterone, and your body is a balancing act. So you throw a load of testosterone in there, your body is going to absolutely flood you with estrogen. So what will happen is your estrogen levels will shoot through the roof, you'll become really emotional. Most people can handle it, or you will start growing bitch tits. There is things you take to counteract that, to drop the estrogen back down, but it's the same as when you come off. So another thing to point on is when you do take test, your testicle, it's not your dick that shrinks. For some reason, there's this, people seem to think you take steroids, you get a small dick. If anything, your dick looks bigger because your testicles fucking shrink. So that's what happens, and the reason your testicles shrink is because that's what creates testosterone in your body. So you're injecting testosterone, your testosterone levels in your body are through the roof, so your body goes, right, we don't need to produce testosterone, so your balls shut down. So they shrink up. So what will happen is you'll get a period, so when you come off, you will put in no testosterone in your body, and your body's producing no testosterone, so your estrogen goes through the roof and you're having a crash in test. That is one of the worst things you will experience. It is horrendous, to the point where some people like myself will cruise. And so instead of coming off, you just put a really, really low test to keep your test levels maintaining. I do that because I still train. Most people will come off because they're maybe not a serious trainer, or they're just doing it as a hobby. And if you're going to continue this lifestyle of training, my advice is to cruise. Because what you'll find is you'll get a load of strength, and then you'll come off cycle, your strength will drop, you'll go through the lows of feeling weak, feeling small, and then you're going to jump back on cycle for 12 weeks to get back to where you was, to drop back down again. So you're doing that, it's shit. So my personal way I found is I will run tests, get to a point, and then I'll try and cruise it. Maybe I'll come down a bit, but I'm still higher than I was, and then I'll up it again for a peak in a competition or a lift, and then I'll kind of plateau like that. Other side effects that you need to take into consideration is like back acne. That's very common, very, very common. When I very first started taking a cycle back in my 20s, I got acne across my shoulder. Mood swings like we're talking about now, like depression, that I've been really good, but this is the first time that I've been taking steroids that I've crashed this low to the point of how I felt. It was horrendous. I didn't want to get, like I said, I didn't want to get out of bed, couldn't taste food. I completely shut off from the gym, which is not me. Like, I'm always training, didn't want to train. So I knew something went right, but lucky enough I caught it. I had the right people around me to talk to and kind of pull me out of it and reassure me. But this again is just a follow-on from the other video of the not so glamorous side of taking gear. You need to be prepared for this. And you know, I'm sitting here talking to you now about feeling sad and depressed, but you know, if it comes around that I'll get to a point where I'm angry and I'm really, really fucking hot-headed, I'll do another video on that to explain it about it and how to deal with it. But at the minute I'll only put videos of how I'm feeling. This isn't for me to try and get views and likes and shit like that. I really don't care. If it, like the last video, I was only watched a couple of times, but I had a few people message me and comment on it and say it helped. That'll do me. So if there's somebody out there who is about to run cycle, or is running cycle and feels really low at the minute, and they think it might be seasonal depression, go for a sunbed to feel better, win, done. I'm happy with that. These are just things that people don't talk about, and it needs to be spoken about more, because steroids are becoming so common, but people just seem to think it's a wonder drug, and they don't realise all this stuff that goes on with it. It is hard and it is brutal, and you know, it taxes your body, it taxes your brain. So yeah, I'm just kind of highlighting that, really, just letting everybody know where I'm at the minute and why it's happening. in case it's happened to somebody else who might want to consider what's going on. So if you're running a cycle and you're feeling like shit and it's only in the winter, I would really look at reading into seasonal depression. Believe it or not, it's called SAD. But yeah, look into that. Obviously, don't just come off cycle. If you're a young lad and you're running cycle and you're feeling down, believe me, I promise you, if you just stop taking gear, you'll crash. My advice to you would be to down cycle. So if you're running a mil, your next jab, run half a mil. And your next jab after that, run a quarter of a mil, and just run the quarter of a mil for a little while. There is things you can take to kickstart your body, kickstart your testicles, to start producing testosterone again, but it's not fast, it's not quick. So you're gonna have a gap, and you're gonna have a bridge where you're gonna feel like shit. So just be prepared for it. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't gonna put this up. I really weren't. I was really like, it's a bit personal. I don't want to come across like I'm trying to get attention, because I don't want to be that guy trying to plead his mental health on social media. But it will go against everything I stand for and what I've been doing with the charity days at the gym for mental health, the video that I did last time about the repercussions of taking gear. So if I don't do it, I'm going against what I say. So if I have to put myself online to look a bit of a dick, or not look a dick, because I'd like to think people wouldn't think I look like a dickhead, but I'm quite happy to open myself up online if it will help somebody. So yeah, that's that. I have had a few people message me on the last video, and I will repeat what I said last time on that. If you have any questions, anything you want to know, drop me an inbox. I don't really do anything on YouTube. I put the videos up there so people can view them, but I'm mostly on Instagram. So if you need me, give me a message on Instagram, and I'm here. I'm always here for a chat. So yeah, cool.